Good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Ila Shukla and today I will be discussing about the type of spoilage factors affecting the microbial spoilage of pharmaceutical products. Since pharmaceutical products are consumed by human beings, moreover they have medicaments which are required to treat particular diseases. So, it is very important for us to make them micro free, because in that case efficiency and potency, both of these factors would be effective in case of spoilage. And this lecture would be about the what is spoilage, what are the types of spoilage, what are the factors that affect the microbial contamination of the pharmaceutical products. Coming to the next slide, that is the content. This would deal with the definition of spoilage. This whole presentation would cover the definition of spoilage, types of spoilage, spoilage of pharmaceuticals, microbial spoilage of pharmaceuticals, type of microbial spoilage, physicochemical microbial spoilage, chemical microbial spoilage. Different factors are there which affect the spoilage, like it could be physicochemical, some kind of reactions are there, some kind of physical changes are there in the preparation, or biological microbial spoilage, that could be like they synthesize metabolites and they spoil the complete preparation. So, and further we will be discussing about the factors affecting the spoilage of pharmaceutical products. So, first slide is saying that what is the definition of spoilage. So, spoilage is the action or process of spoiling, especially the deterioration of food and the other perishable goods which render a product unacceptable for human consumption. What happens when spoilage occurs? The properties of a particular substance, particular preparation, it could be of pharmaceutical one or it could be of the nutraceutical one or the food preparations. What happens is that the nutrient or the medicament gets spoiled, its properties changes, it can degrade or it can develop some other kind of molecule. So, this is what spoiling is. If the product which we have synthesized differs from the one which was synthesized, is the refers to the spoilage. So, it is a complex event in which a combination of microbial biochemical activities may interact. Both this is not always like chemicals are interacting, more often it is like the microbes interacting with the chemicals present in the preparation. Like whenever we go for the packaging of pharmaceutical products, a number of factors are considered, like the interaction between the chemicals that are present in the preparation, interaction between the packaging and the chemicals that are kept in that particular container, and then the interaction of the microbes that are present in the environment with the particular medicament or the chemical. So, coming to the more important topic, that is the microbial spoilage. It is very difficult for us to keep a pace of all the microbial spoilage, and it is very important for us to keep a pace and keep a check over microbial spoilage, because we are all around, we are surrounded by the microbes. Air is having loads and loads of microbes, but why we remain unaffected is that sometimes it is like that much of microbial load is not present around us, or it could be like that our immune system is capable enough to deal with that kind of microbial load. So, when it does not happen, we caught the infection. So, microbial spoilage is a kind of thing that when the preparation is being prepared, like pharmaceutical preparation is being synthesized, then it is being packed, then it is being transferred. So, these are the different steps where we have to check this microbial spoilage. Microbes should not enter the pharmaceutical preparation. So, what it refers to? This refers to damage to food, pharmaceutical products, that is caused by microorganism. It could be bacteria, mold, fungi, yeast. Microorganisms can grow in almost all kind of food and pharmaceutical products. Why it is very difficult, or why it is very important for us to know about the microbial spoilage? Because a microbe can grow in almost any kind of food and pharmaceutical product, because they need basic elements, and all these basic elements are present in all the food and pharmaceutical products. Coming to the next slide, it says about the type of spoilage. What is the type of spoilage? First is microbial, that the microorganisms are responsible for the spoilage, and another is the non-microbial spoilage. Microbial means caused due to the presence of microbes in any given formulation. It could be pharmaceutical one, it could be the food preparation, whatever the preparation. If the microbes are responsible for the spoilage, we call it microbial spoilage. When microbes are not responsible for the spoilage, then the reason could be like chemical interaction, chemical and the packaging interaction that the chemical is placed in. This could be any one out of these. So, these are non-microbial because microbes are not involved in it. So, coming to the next slide. So, it says about the spoilage of pharmaceuticals. So, spoilage of pharmaceutical products or drugs are referred as a changes in the physical and the chemical properties in such a way that the formulation or the therapeutic agent gets deteriorated and become not suitable for the use of human beings. Why it is very difficult for us to determine, or we have to check the spoilage, because when we talk about pharmaceuticals, that means these are in very small quantities, these are used to treat different diseases. So, when it comes to their purity or their proper preparation, it is very important for us to keep a check on the microbes, because if we do not keep a check, then the disease being treated would not be treated, because the therapeutic properties of the preparation would be changed due to microbial spoilage. And second thing is that the efficiency of the drug, maybe it is treating that disease, but it is not that efficient. That is like maybe you can take an example, if 2 mg of the drug is sufficient enough to treat a particular disease, maybe only one dose is given in whole of the 24 hours. If it is spoiled by the microbial spoilage or any other kind of spoilage, it could happen that that 2 mg of drug may not treat the disease, or maybe it is treating, but it is not that effective to control that disease. So, this what happens when spoilage occurs. So, pharmaceutical products is a combination of two things. First is active drug and other is the formulation additives. Formulation additives is often called as excipients. You must have gone through wrappers. If not, then you should go, like you take the paracetamol. You take it and you read what is written over it. One is the main drug, like paracetamol, and other is the excipient, like the QS is written in front of it. So, what are these excipients? What happen is that, like you take a lemon squash, you take 2 spoons of lemon squash, and what you do to make 100 ml of it, you add water into it, QS, that is quantity sufficient, that is that much of quantity which will make it 100 ml. So, this is what the water here is formulation additive, and what active drug is squash, that lemon squash is active drug and that your water is formulation additive. So, any pharmaceutical product contain two things, that is, one is the active drug. Active drug could be single drug, it could be combination of different drugs like omeprazole and domperidone, like Omez D is there. Omez D is the brand name of a particular PPI, and what it contains is omeprazole, one molecule, that is proton pump inhibitor, and domperidone is the another one. So, these are the two chemicals or the drugs which are kept into the same formulation. These are active drugs, but what is used to make those drugs edible, like if I say that only 1 microgram of the drug is used to treat a particular disease, it is not possible for you to manage it, like you cannot consume that 1 microgram of the drug. To make it accessible, to make it edible, so that you can have that formulation, we add excipients. These excipients do not have any kind of therapeutic effect over you, and these are just to help you, like these are just a spoon that will carry it into your mouth and you will ingest that drug. So, one is active drug and other is the formulation additives. If there is any change in their efficacy, action, etc., it is said to be spoiled product. Obviously, efficacy में change है, action मतलब जो हमें required आपका therapeutic activity that is not being achieved. In that case, the product is spoiled. Coming to the next slide, it says about the factors that cause the pharmaceutical spoilage. These could be mainly physical, chemical or microbial. Next slide is about the type of microbial spoilage, and here we are dealing with the spoilage of pharmaceutical products and the factors affecting it. Why? What are the factors that affect it are physical, chemical or microbial. Physical, as I just told you, that it could be like the heat, maybe the some pharmaceutical preparation is there and it is mentioned that it should be kept below 5 degrees Celsius and you place it at the room temperature. The medicament present in it will be denatured. Maybe it is maybe if some protein preparation is there, maybe there is concentrated protein, or I can say like if there is chemotherapeutic drug like rituximab. Rituximab is monoclonal antibody. If rituximab is kept at room temperature, all the proteins, all the antibodies present in it will get denatured and this would not be pharmaceutically active anymore. So, for this purpose we need to keep in mind that when we store drug, read the instructions properly what are mentioned over here, like it is on the room temperature, it is okay to keep it at room temperature, or it is a cold storage, cold temperature change has to be maintained. Both of these things you have to keep in mind. So, if heat is there, temperature variation is there, evaporation is there, maybe you just take the syrup and then you left the cap as it is, you didn't close it properly. What will happen? the moisture content of it will keep on evaporating slowly and the syrup would get thickened. Moreover, this would also lead to microbial spoilage. Why? Because the microbes in the environment will get a space to enter that syrup and these will again start spoiling it. So, physical factor is there, another factor added to it, that is the microbes. So, coming to the next factor, that is chemical factor. What chemical factor says? Deterioration of pharmaceuticals due to chemical reaction like oxidation, reduction or ionization. These are the chemical reactions. These may happen in because a particular pharmaceutical preparation contains several chemical compounds. So, it could be that like they start interacting with each other. Although whenever we make a pharmaceutical preparation, we study all these kind of factors so that we make sure that this does not happen, but it may happen. So, then the third one is the microbial spoilage. Deterioration of the pharmaceuticals due to contamination of any microbial cell like bacteria, fungi or mold. Any microbe, if the spoilage is due to any microbe, then we call it microbial spoilage. Then what is exactly the microbial spoilage? The microbial contamination of the pharmaceutical products with microbes which leads to spoilage of product. When we say that the product is spoiled, we say product is spoiled, and especially in case of pharmaceutical product is spoiled when the drug safety is hampered. That means the substance present in that particular preparation is no more fit for use by us because it could be having toxins developed by the microbes, or other thing is that the quality is hampered, like the amount of drug and the amount of or the range of efficiency it should be providing is varied. Like if the 2 mg of the drug is needed to treat a particular ailment for 24 hours, then the particular drug would not be able to treat it for 24 hours and that efficiency level goes down, and we need to add or we need to increase that amount of the drug. So, when these two factors happen, that means the drug is spoiled, and in case of the microbial spoilage or the microbes are responsible, we call this microbial spoilage. Shortly, the microbial spoilage of the pharmaceutical product is deterioration of the pharmaceuticals, as I just told you. So, types of microbial spoilage, we studied about the factors that are responsible for the spoilage. Those were the physical, chemical and microbial. Physical, temperature or the evaporation, etc. Chemical could be the chemical reaction among the compounds or the substances present in the pharmaceuticals, and the microbial was the microbes entering the preparation and then causing the spoilage. These were the factors. What are the type? Type are physico-chemical. Physico-chemical, these type of microbial spoilage, some are visible, like physico-chemical changes are visible to you, like viable growth. How could you see? The syrup, whenever you have syrup, it is written on that particular pamphlet that you should close that container properly. In case of moisture entering it or in case of the environmental air is entering it continuously, the microbes get a space over there, and when microbes get a space over there, they start growing like fungi or the mold. What happens in syrup? They are having all the required nutrients that are required by the fungi. So, they start growing. Often you will see on the syrup, at the surface of the syrup, it is like cottony layer is over the surface of the syrup, whitish cottony layer. What is it? Whitish cottony layer, that is the growth of fungi over that surface. So, it is a viable growth. If you take that white cottony layer and you put it into the culture medium, it will develop. So, that is the viable growth, you can see it. Another is the gas production. You take the syrup, you keep it and you just move out of there. When you come back, what you see is the bubbles rising from the base or bubbles are developing at the surface. If the bubbles are moving throughout the syrup, that means the gas production is there, and from where the gas production is coming? Gas production is coming by the action of these microbes. Then comes physical spoilage. Physical spoilage could be the color change, or you can say the odor change, taste change, olfactory coloration, these are the same thing. So, coming to the next one, that is the chemical. Chemical microbial spoilage is due to hydrolysis, acetylation, depolymerization, degradation or metabolization. What happens is that the microbe has entered the preparation. Now, depending upon the thing that it require a particular substance for its metabolism, or it require to develop some kind of defense system for it, it start preparing the substances. Most of the substances prepared by these microbes are toxic to us. मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में जो हाइड्रोलिसिस या एसिटाइलेशन का प्रोसेस है, that end up in preparation or end up in the products which are highly toxic to the human consumption. So, that is why whenever there is spoilage, it is said that the preparation is no more fit for our consumption. Moreover, these type of microbial spoilage does not happen like that. The gas production has started and it is like only gas production has started. Gas production has started because of some kind of chemical changes. That means the chemical microbial spoilage has started. That means maybe hydrolysis must have occurred, maybe acetylation must have occurred, which has produced the gas which is rising in that syrup in the form of bubble. So, it is not like that physico-chemical microbial spoilage is there, that means no chemical microbial spoilage is there. Some kind of chemical reaction is happening, that is why physico-chemical microbial spoilage is being seen by you. Then biological spoilage comes like release of toxins, or it could be microbial metabolites. Maybe the microbes are synthesizing particular toxins for their defense, or maybe they are just using those substances to prepare the metabolites for their own consumption. Coming to the next slide. So, what is physico-chemical microbial spoilage? In this kind of spoilage, there are some chemical changes are caused by microbial species, and due to these chemical changes, the physical properties also get altered and deteriorated. Like a syrup is of orange color, a light orange color syrup is there. When microbial spoilage occur, what happens is that the syrup would be developing some kind of turbid substance in it. Turbidity may occur, or it could be like if the syrup is completely turbid and the microbial action occur, it may become transparent. So, these kind of changes are visible to you, and moreover this kind of changes should not be ignored by the person, because these are responsible, or these are the indicators that the substance is being deteriorated. So, thus it is called as physico-chemical spoilage. First is the viable growth. A visible layer over the surface of the pharmaceutical formulation is seen. As I just told you, some kind of fungi or mold develop a small thin cottony layer over the surface of the syrup. It is visible to you. Then comes coloration. Discoloration or the change in coloration of the pharmaceutical formulation. Discoloration refers to maybe the syrup is orange color and after some time the color disappears. It could become transparent or it could just become turbid. Moreover, change in coloration means that the syrup was orange colored, but then it turned to red color. So, this is the change in color. Coming to the next slide. So, other physicochemical changes are gas production. As I just told you, when the particular microbe goes into the metabolism or any kind of chemical reaction, they may produce gas. So, production of gases by the metabolic activities of the microbes seen as gas bubbles or foam over the surface of the formulation. It could be like the gas bubbles moving throughout the syrup, or it could be like the foam forming on the surface. Then comes physical spoilage. Physical spoilage says about it changes in the physical appearance caused by the microbial cell activities. Physical spoilage, physical appearance, it could be the syrup was having particular consistency. What happens after the microbial spoilage? After that the syrup becomes thick, or it could become even having lower consistency. So, if this change in consistency is there, that means some kind of microbial spoilage has occurred. Olfactory spoilage, that means unpleasant smell, maybe the sour smell is there, or the odor that is of particular syrup has changed. So, these all changes should be observed keenly while you are consuming any kind of pharmaceutical product. Coming to the next slide, it says about the chemical spoilage. As I just told you that chemical spoilage could be by hydrolysis, could be because of acetylation, it could be because of depolymerization, or it could be because of degradation. So, first example of hydrolysis is aspirin, that is hydrolyzed by the esterase producing bacteria. Esterase producing bacteria hydrolyzes aspirin and make it unfit for consumption. Acetylation, the chloramphenicol is acetylated by the staphylococci and streptococci gram negative bacteria because they possess the enzyme chloramphenicol acetyl transferase. Coming to the third one, that is depolymerization. Depolymerization is that is starch is depolymerized by bacterial amylase. Bacterial amylase is responsible for the depolymerization of the starch. Then comes the degradation. All the beta lactam antibiotics are degraded by the bacterial cells because they have lactamase enzyme in it, and penicillin is one of the examples. Coming to the next slide, it says about the biological spoilage. Some bacterial cells contaminate the pharmaceuticals and utilize various components or compounds present in that formulation to perform their metabolic activities. It is obvious to hear it, because I have just discussed in last slide that biological spoilage or chemical spoilage or physical chemical spoilage, it is not like that these spoilages are occurring independently. If there is biological activity, it would be releasing some kind of chemicals. Those chemicals will be responsible for the changes in the physical property. Although we have categorized it just to understand that what is the methods or what are the changes, just to we have categorized just for our understanding. So, due to these metabolic activities, the microbial cells produce certain chemicals which they release in pharmaceutical preparation. After consuming the particular kind of pharmaceutical substance, according to their requirement, microbes utilize it and they release a particular kind of metabolite or the toxin they have synthesized into the pharmaceutical preparation. This is referred to as biological spoilage, because the biological process is involved in it. Mainly two types of chemicals are released by the microorganisms. First is microbial toxins and another is microbial metabolites. What is the difference between metabolites and toxins? When we say about microbial toxin, that means the microbe is preparing itself for the self defense, then it synthesizes the toxins. When we talk about the metabolites, metabolites are the substances that are synthesized by the microbe for their own consumption, although both of them are not fit for our consumption, but this is the difference. So, coming to the next slide, it says about the microbial toxins. Endotoxins produced by some gram negative bacteria like E. coli, exotoxins by Clostridium botulinum. So, these are the endotoxin or the exotoxins which are produced by different bacteria. Gram negative usually produce endotoxins like E. coli, and these Clostridium botulinum produce exotoxins. Then microbial metabolites. Bacterial metabolites are the biosynthetic products from the microbial cells. It is obvious. Examples are different amines and the organic acids from the bacterial cells or metabolites from the fungi and the mold. Different kind of microbes synthesize different kind of these microbial metabolites as per their own requirement. Like fungi, most of the fungi may be requiring organic acids and the amines, they would be synthesizing it, or they would be using it by using this pharmaceutical preparation. Then your bacteria may require some kind of other elemental things like sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, they may take it from the pharmaceutical preparation. Then your fungi and the molds are more specifically grow on the formulation like talc, kaolin in the starch. The formulations which consist of talc, kaolin or starch are more prone to the spoilage by these fungi and molds. So, what are the reasons of contamination? Why contamination happen? It is usually because of the accidental exposure to the environment, like particular preparation is being prepared, or moreover spoilage or this kind of microbial spoilage often happens when we are using these preparations for our purpose, like we are having these preparations. It could be like, I again and again take the example of syrup because it is very easy to understand, because it is a multi-dose container, it is having several doses, you again have to take the syrup tedious or 3 times a day. So, I am taking this example because it is very easy to understand. So, you take the syrup, you left that cap open, you forget it and you forget to close that container and it is left open. What is happening? The environmental air is coming into the direct contact with a particular duration to that syrup surface. The microbial load that was around that bottle was transferred to the syrup. So, it will later on, it will cause the microbial spoilage, because the microbes get this substance to proliferate and they will proliferate and cause the microbial spoilage. Another is improper storage conditions. Yes, like I just told you that the substances which need to be stored in cold temperature should be stored in cold temperature, because beyond it either they get denatured, or maybe the substance which was stored in cold temperature was sensitive to high temperature, that is why it was kept at cold temperature, and when it was kept at high temperature the substance either degenerated or it produced something else which was no more fit for our use. Then inadequate preparation of the formulation, maybe the preparation of the formulation was going on and the substances which were required for their preparation was not properly arranged, like there is a particular sequence for a pharmaceutical preparation to add the substances, maybe those substances were not added according to the sequence, that may also cause this kind of spoilage. Moreover, if a particular kind of substance which is reactive to the other one and it is kept in the same formulation, maybe the that could cause the spoilage. Then comes the improper sterilization. Definitely, if the sterilization process is not proper, microbes are left in out there in the pharmaceutical preparation. These will definitely cause the microbial spoilage. Then coming to the factors that affect the spoilage of the pharmaceutical products, these are a nutritional factor, moisture content, redox potential, storage temperature, pH and packaging design. Packaging design is a very common thing, it is mostly responsible for the spoilage. Why? Because in multi-dose container it often happens that microbial spoilage occur. That is why we accordingly add preservatives to it so that the microbial spoilage is under control. Coming to the next slide. So, it says about the different different factors that affect the spoilage of pharmaceutical products. First is nutritional factor, the substance or the preparation which is having most of the energy sources that are required by the particular kind of microorganism to synthesize their metabolites or to survive would be prone to microbial spoilage. Second is moisture content. If the moisture content in a particular formulation is high, there are many chances that the microbes can grow there. Like again I will tell, the syrup is the best example. It is having moisture, it is having sugar, it is having all the required elements by the microbes to survive. So, moisture content. Then comes redox potential. The microbial growth in any environment is influenced by its oxidation reduction balance, that is redox reaction. If oxygen is present in any formulation, then this condition favors microbial growth. Most of the bacteria survive in aerobic conditions, and if aerobic conditions are there, another thing is that energy sources are there, they will definitely grow into it. Coming to the next slide, it says about the packaging. Often multi-dose containers are more affected by the microbial contamination. Definitely we again and again consume syrup. What happens? We forget to place the cap properly, or we just forget to place the cap. So, it is like we are the particular preparations coming into the direct contact of the environmental air. So, microbial spoilage is definitely going to occur. Then your storage temperature. The pharmaceutical formulation can affected by the microbial cell between temperature range of minus 20 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. The temperature variation should not be there. Then the pH is particularly responsible for the different kind of metabolic activities. So, these are the references from where I have taken all this material, and with this I would end this lecture. Thank you.